Hey Transformer fans, today we are looking at the last night version of Crosshairs. And before we get to Crosshairs, we are going to do our normally would be our shout outs of the week, but I kind of started last month where now it'll be once a month. There'll be like shout outs of the month. It'll be the first Transformers and the first G.I. Joe video of the month, which will be the shout outs of the month. So our first shout out of the month will be Back to the Media at 48 South Loudon Street, which is the home of Back to the Media, where you can find all your all your video game needs, from the Atari all the way up to current systems, Game Series consoles. You can get DVDs, CDs, out vinyl records, so much more there. And speaking of movies, Back to the Media is actually moving, or not even moving, but they're actually adding a store right across the street on the Walker Mall at their original location of 41 South Loudon Street, which will be known as Back to the Movies, which they will be doing their movie collection there from that store. So, if you're into different kind of movies, I would suggest going there and checking them out as soon as they open it. Which, as of right now, I have no idea when this is going to be, when it's going to take place. But it's happening very soon from what I understand. But, I would say, well, I mean, not very soon, but within the next year or so, and you know how time flies. But, moving on, our next shout out of the week, which will be, on Middle Road, right behind the Sheets on Valley Avenue here in Winchester, a little store called Play It Again Games, which you can find the little odds and ends that you can't find it Back to the Media. They also repair your laptop, your PC, and all your gaming systems. So check them out for any advancements to your systems and whatnot. But if you're looking for toys and collectibles such as Crosshairs here, you could go to Time Traveler Toys and Collectibles, which is at 115 South Loudon Street, which is in the same neighborhood as Back to the Media. And you can get all your Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, Ninja Turtles, all that kind of stuff there. So definitely check them out. So definitely check them out. I mean, I got Crosshairs, I believe, from Time Travelers, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, this is a redo, so check out the original Crosshairs video I did some time back, and, you'll find out for sure. I've had Crosshairs for a while. So, you want to check out that Crosshairs video. And if you leave there, but if you're looking for all your toys and collectibles needs, Time Travelers is the place to go. But if you got a toddler and you're trying to get them their educational puzzles and games and stuff, and try to help them with their education and get them ready for school, you can check out Thinker Toys right there at 106 Loudon Street, South Loudon Street. So basically, Back to the Media, Thinker Toys, and Time Travelers is in the same neighborhood. But definitely check them out. And if you're looking for like Pokemon cards or anything of the sort, you can go to Breaker Brothers at 6 Piccadilly Street and check them out. I mean, it's a small store, but you can still get some, really good and eventually growing monetarily wise Pokemon cards. You could also get Yu-Gi-Oh! And they even have a Ninja Turtle set. Hey, that's pretty awesome. But go ahead and check them out. There's, like I said, it's Breaker Brothers on 6 Piccadilly Street. But if you're in Winchester and you're looking for comic books, you can head over to 80 Weems Lane, which is the home of Four Color Fantasies, which is where you get all, and I do mean all, of your comic book needs. From Marvel to DC to IDW, Image, all that kind of stuff. And various titles such as G.I. Joe, Transformers, especially if you could pick up the Energon series. The Energon series is really, really awesome. So definitely want to get that series. And you definitely want to check them out. But you could also get Spider-Man, He-Man, Superman, Thundercats. You name it, they got every title you could imagine. But if you're at Salisbury, North Carolina, or the surrounding areas, you can check out Comic Monsters. For the same thing, you get all the He-Man, G.I. Joe, Spider-Man, Thundercats, Transformers, comic books there. You know, definitely check them out, especially, like I said, at the Energon universe in that area. That's a highly must-see. That's a must-read series. And there's a channel that's been reviewing them lately. I forget the name of it, but if I run across it, I'll, in the next couple of days, I'll let you know. Let y'all know. But that's been reviewing the Energon universe, so definitely check that channel out. But definitely check them out. But if you're looking for Jamaican food and you're in Winchester and you want some good Jamaican food, go to 36 Piccadilly Street, which is right up the street from Breaker Brothers, and check out Tropical Islands and get all your favorite Jamaican food, and see Lloyd and his wonderful staff and get some awesome Jamaican food. And they got some good reggae music and Jamaican style music there, so you definitely want to see them. And after you leave there and you got some tree work that you need done, you can get a hold of Mixed Tree Service, check him out, and see what he's got to offer and see what he's got going on. So definitely check them out, or check him out. He does wonderful, great jobs with trees and stuff, and taking them out and taking care of them for you. So definitely see him. And once you leave there, if you're looking for, once you get done with Mick and you're looking for a good bank to go to, you can go to Bank of Clark or United Bank and check them out. There's some great bank. They're both of them are great banks and great customer service, and so on and so forth. So definitely give them a shout. And if you're looking for insurance, like homeowners, renters insurance, or anything of the such, you can check out State Farm or Farmers. Ba-da-da-ba-ba. Farmers. We are farmers. Or like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Either way, they got some good policies, good quotes. Sorry for my singing voice. Sorry for the lyrics. But with my singing voice. But hey, it is what it is. Not every one of us can sing. Just some of us don't want to admit it. But you definitely want to check out those two to get some good insurance policies. But speaking of insurance, especially when it comes to automobiles, and you need gas, you can go to Sheets or Handy Mart and check them out and get some great quality gas. And which thankfully the gas prices is dropping now somewhat. But definitely check them out. And you can check out check them out and get some good quality food at the same time, so you can get your belly full at the same time you get your gas tank full. So get your belly full and your gas tank full. What a combination. And then after you leave Sheets or Handy Mart, but see, you need therapy. Let me tell you about some therapy, because I get it. I need it. I will not debate that, but but if you need a good counselor to go to, Robert C. Brown at Healing Grace Counseling Services, he's a great guy to go to. He's a great listener. He gives good sound advice. He knows what he's talking about. But like all people, he may not be everybody's cup of tea, may not be everybody's thing. So there's other areas you can go to here in Winchester. Or you can get a hold of Natural Counseling Group. Or you can get a hold of whoever it is in your local area. As long as you're getting the desired help that you're looking for. But sometimes counseling and therapy isn't always a means to the end. It isn't always the end-all, be-all. So, sometimes you might need psychiatry. So, if you're in the Winchester, Front Royal, surrounding areas, you could go to Northwestern's Community Services and see what they have to offer. And they got great programs, great, doctors, pharmacy and everything. So go ahead and check them out. And after you leave there, you can go to, you can definitely see them and definitely check them out. But if you can't get an appointment and you need to text somebody because you need to talk because you're dealing with something, texting 741-741 is always a good place to go. So definitely check them out. And if you need to hear a human voice, some of us need to hear a human voice to talk to. And you could dial 988, and they got people on standby for you there. But if that's not working for you and it's really bad, you need really major help, there's nothing wrong with going to your closest emergency room and getting the help you need. So go ahead and check it out. And we are done with the shout-outs of the week, or shout-outs of the month now. So let's take a look at Crosshairs. We're going to start by looking at his guns, which is the same, but there are two of them, one for each hand. Now there's a special way you can hold it here at the bottom by plugging in it right there, plugging them both in right there, and right here on this side, and he can still roll with them, but for some reason I can't get that feature to work because I can't always get him to get his best to plug in all the way right, but in Stingray mode, but it is what it is. But these are nice little guns. And then you got him in his green and black Stingray from the Last Night movie. And this is a really cool looking vehicle mode. The only thing I don't like about it is all this major robot kibble underneath. And I noticed with all the Last Night figures, they're all like that, especially from watching MGO316's channel, where he's showing them. You can see a lot of them like in Drift and whatnot. You can see the robot mode, Prime, all the guys, you really see a lot of their, obvious robot kibble. But, who really displays them jacked up like this, or like this, But, you get you keep them like this so the robot kibble really isn't, noticeable. But let's start in transformation, and what you want to do is get this part. Well, this part's not supposed to break off, but I do that for right now. And then you do want to, get these pieces. As you can see, I can't get this part lined up right, but this, he's tight in every mode. Just trying to get him where because the shell becomes his drench coat. As you can see. And I know right here it looks like he's got his hands right there, but those are not his hands. Thankfully. And then just lift this part here so his feet could come undone, which you could actually put this piece back on. And then you could also untab his arms from here, which will somewhat make it easier for his shoulder pieces to unhinge from the back piece here, and just take that just on a double hinge so you can fold it up. And then get these pieces to where they unhook. Come on, that front piece does tend to do unhook or easily. And there we go. And these makes the parts of his leather jacket, and then you can bring this part back in. Hook this part back up. If it keeps coming off, unfortunately on my selection it does. You can fold this back in. And then bring his shoulders down. And his feet untab down. And then bring them around. On the thigh cut, swivel them around. Bring his feet down. And then you got Crosshairs in his robot mode. And try to get him to where you can stand better. Or what you could do, if you want, it's your figure, you can just display it however you want to. You can bring it down, it'll give it the full dress coat look in the back. But I like to fold it up since it's already folded up. Since it does fold up, I like to keep it folded up. But you do got him or Crossroads in robot mode. And let's take a look at Crosshairs. His head does rotate, but the headpieces does hinder from doing a 360, but he can look up and down. His arms can go out this far on bar joints. They can spin around. I mean, it's hindered by his back kibble, but he can swivel. He can bend at the elbow. His hands do rotate, so you can do that. Don't have him hold his guns any way that you wish. His legs are on ball joints. You got a lot of range of motion. It does hinder by the back heel, but it can go back farther. He can bend at the knee, so you can knee drop a Decepticon. Right in the chrome dome. And his feet do bend up, but that's mainly due to transformation. And then once you got him transformed and perfectly in robot mode, if you want to display him in robot mode, which is usually what I do, you can, because it creates more room on the shelving. Because I got limited space where I display my Transformers and G.I. Joes at. I got limited space. So I have to do it in the easiest way to make as much room as I can. So, of course, I'm trying to get him the way he can stand up perfectly, which is kind of hard because he is top heavy. And on my copy, the feet are loose. So I'll just hold him. Up, just for right now. I hold him up by his feet. But this is Crosshairs. He's a very good figure. I like this figure. I like the character in the movies because I've never seen him in the cartoon, but I did like him in the Age of Extinction and the Last Night movies. I think he was portrayed very well as being a hot-headed individual, very sarcastic, and being that he's green, I could say he would be like the perfect Autobots version of Raphael from the Ninja Turtles. So he'd be perfect to play Raphael if they did a Transformers or the Ninja Turtles crossover movie. He'd be the perfect Raphael. But this is a great figure to have to your collection. Very good looking figure. This would be a top tier figure, but especially to add to your Autobot ranks. So I would say definitely get them. But that'll be it for this week, and until RR1, see you in the next week.